This is Chapter 6, Reading-Writing Connection. This is also contained in the Reading 82 book as part of another chapter, but it's the same information. The reading-writing will show you how reading and writing are similar and are very often used at the same time to improve one another. Okay, I'm not going to read the entire chapter, but basically reading and writing is that two disciplines are often developed and strengthened at the same time. And many great writers became great readers, and many became great writers. There's a strong connection there. And the rest of the chapter goes on to talk about that. But I'm going to go forward and talk about writing exercise. Okay? First, you're going to choose a topic, and you're going to write it on the top of the next page, which we'll look at in a minute. You're going to write a topic sentence and main idea about that topic on the line following Roman 1. And third, after each capital letter, one word or expand upon your main idea statement. And fourth, after each number, you're going to write one word that would further explain each major supporting detail. So let's take a look at that sheet. Let's assume for now that ours is going to be trip to Europe. Okay, so we put that on that line, trip to Europe. That's your topic. What can you say about your trip to Europe? Let's say my family and I had a wonderful time in visiting three countries in Europe last summer. Okay? Now, what would those three countries be? Let's say England, France, and Spain. All right, now let's talk a little bit about in England. Okay, you visited the Queen. Okay, you went to a play. Normally you won't be spacing it like this. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not going to try and fix it right now. And what else did you do in England? You went out to eat at a nice restaurant. Okay. In France, you went to the Eiffel Tower. Okay. What else did you in France? You went shopping. All right. And then in Spain, you did the bull run with some of your friends. You went bull after that. And the third thing is you went to the beach. Okay? Now you could do a concluding paragraph on it too. Or a concluding sentence, depending on whether you're doing an essay or a paragraph, concluding sentence. All right? Now, you're going to take this that you've done, and you're going to continue on your second sheet by now creating sentences. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to pull up that second sheet right now by getting rid of this one and finding the next one, and there it is. So now you notice I have the same topic, trip to Europe. Okay. If you're typing it, you're going to have to play around with the template. If you're handwriting it, of course, you just write on these lines. Now it's asking you for some introductory sentences because I'm actually going to not just deal with a paragraph, but I'm going to deal with an essay. But I'm going to put that main topic, sentence, or thesis. Now it's going to become a thesis statement. I'm going to put it right here. My family and I had a wonderful time visiting 3 countries in Europe last summer. Now, here we're going to talk about England because that's the first thing on your other sheet, or A. So you can say something like, our first stop on our journey was in England. What was a minor detail with the Queen? Okay, so you had Queen on the other paper, so my mother is a direct descendant. Okay, there we go. Direct descendant of the Queen. And you probably continue on to add some other sentences to that because now it's an essay, but you get the right idea. You're creating words from your other sheet into sentences here. And your second one, of course, it was England, France. So the second country that we visited was France. And then you go on to talk about what you did in France. Your first thing was the Eiffel Tower, so you do a sentence on the Eiffel Tower and so on. Now your third step is to take all of these sentences and copy those over into your computer. You might print this out and sit there and then type your computer. Actually, if you typed it into this, you could just copy and paste it into your final copy. You would just pull up a sheet in Microsoft Word and start to type. So, or start to copy and paste, but you of course don't want all these lines there, so if the lines copy, you'd have to get rid of them. Well, let's say we copied that first sentence and put it over here and paste it in. Then you're going to have to get rid of the line, so you might not be able to do that. There we go. We got to get rid of the underline. And of course, this is for a rough draft. You're going to fine tune it later. You're going to put your title up there. Now you notice that we had a space up here, so now you could do some introductory sentences. So you could say, every summer thousands of persons travel to Europe. Now you have an introductory sentence leading into your main point, or into your thesis statement. And you could do even more than one sentence, of course. And so you would then incorporate that into your essay as well. And just put that above this one now. And you just basically, you're working with a rough draft here. You can add sentences, you can change things, but you're working with a rough draft. You, of course, are going to put your title on here, and you may change that as time goes on. And of course, you'd probably want to make it a little fancier and centered on the page. And continuing on, you would bring each of these sentences in, and this one would become your first paragraph with your thesis statement, and you probably add a few more sentences to it. Then your next paragraph would start with the information under letter A, talking about going to England, your mother be direct descendant of the Queen, and on. Your third paragraph would be letter B, everything B 1 and 2 and so forth. And then your fourth paragraph would be letter C. Fifth paragraph could be concluding. Okay, so to get a rough draft going, and then you can sit there and fine tune it. But this gets you organized. This also shows you how most writers, especially textbook writers, will organize an essay. Now, there's various styles to writing, so it could be done in many other different styles, but a lot of just beginning as a writer, this is a good way to get an essay organized, and this is the way most textbook writers would write, in a very linear So hopefully this is helpful to you.